Kong has been its own country since when?
Politically correct. We are not a country. We are more like a region.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we were under British rule, so that could be a country more or less. Yeah, but then once we got handed over to China, then we're part of China. Although we have like a massive difference in the system.
Wait, but I don't get it. Like, why were you even handed to China to begin with?
Because of the Opium War. The British borrowed Hong Kong from China for 99 years.
Right.
Because China lost the war in the Opium War.
Yeah. And then they had to write a contract that.
Exactly. So that's 99 year up, and China say, hey, I have had enough, and I need it back.
Okay.
Because Hong Kong is an important port or a financial center for Chinese money and foreign money to cross the border.
Right.
They are not ready to open up everything yet. So Hong Kong is actually a very important hub for money to get in and out, and for stuff to get in and out.
Right.
It's still true till nowadays.
But you see, like, I think about it like this. Okay, so I was having a talk with this Bulgarian guy, and you know how you were saying that everybody needs to trade with China, which is true, like, to an extent.
To an extent, yes.
But like now, since China has been, for example, China has this virus going on, and everyone wants to buy masks and gloves, like disposable gloves. But these are all things that China makes.
Oh, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that there are many more countries that are actually making the masks and PPE and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, China's definitely make a lot of them.
Yeah.
But to my surprise, America made them. France made them.
Yeah.
A lot of the Southeast Asian country made them.
Right.
Well, we have been purchasing around the world, so we know.
Right.
Even Germany makes them.
Okay. But most of these masks that the countries comes from China.
Yeah,
right?
It's just that China usually when it does things, it does it in a bigger scale.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now that people, not just masks, not just PPE, but a lot of the different, the whole supply chain need to think again whether they want to rely too much on a single country.
Yeah, exactly. And he was saying it was a good wake-up call.
To be honest with you, even the pharmaceutical industry, the whole supply chain, especially at the raw material side, a lot of them is from China.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when the raw material, messed up.
Yeah.
Then multiple country or multiple pharmaceutical companies who are making the tablets get into trouble. And that is the problem with the NDMA earlier on. Some of the
ecstasy?
Some of the blood pressure tablets need to get recalled. Oh, the dangerous drug is again another story.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Huh. So they make lots of MDMA too? What?
No. NDMA is a contaminant.
Oh, okay.
In the drug, so they don't want it because that is that cause cancer potentially.
Oh, okay.
And that shows you that even though you got different sort of like drug companies or different drug companies making tablets, a lot of them the raw material is actually from a single origin.
Which is China. Wow, shit.
But anyway, a lot of the supply chain is actually in China.
Yeah, so that gets me to the second point. So like, it's a wake-up call that most people need to be
that is what we're hoping for.
Self-sustained, right?
That's what we were.
Which means that the port of Hong Kong would be needed, but maybe not as much.
When we're talking about like physical stuff going in and out, yes, it is going down anyway because China has been opening up different ports along this coastal region, and they're picking up really quickly. But what hasn't been replaced yet is the financial side. It's the money in and out.
Okay. Because most of the banks and everything, the transaction goes to Hong Kong.
Because they don't want a huge drain of money out of China, so they need to control the currency, and they need to control where money goes to and from. So Hong Kong is probably the only place where you can.
So it's not really a geographical.
No, it's because
issue.
we already have the system, and we already have the rule of law inherit from the UK, where people kind of trust.
Yeah.
Where people can have a contract and everybody sort of respect the contract in Hong Kong that is being signed in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And I think that is the only thing that we have for us to survive until this day, because China has been sort of trying to replicate it in Shanghai, trying to replicate it in Shenzhen.
But no.
But how many years now? 20 years? 30 years? It's still there. I mean, we're still here. And we can see the financial sector is still here. Still going strong.
Right.
And also the stock market.
The stock market.
The stock market. So if you want to reach the international market, if you want to attract funds from all over the world, you come to Hong Kong.
Oh, what? Why?
You come to Hong Kong, get it listed, and then the international buyers can come and buy. Because the market in Hong Kong is more outward facing than the one in China. Because I think it's also a trust issue, seriously.
Right.
It's also a trust issue.
Yeah.
But seriously.
China just has a good reputation of just stabbing people in the back, whereas Hong Kong, they'll do fair trade.
At the moment.
We're
trying to keep it, but we never.
China's trying to grab it.
The thing is with the figures, if you ask people in the financial sector, they can tell you that probably none of the numbers represent anything. Like they tell you that they have 6% GDP growth, but does that mean a real 6% GDP growth?
I see.
So that is a trust issue. So even now in the coronavirus era, the stock market doesn't go down. It's still pretty much the same. And that's when you ask question like, what is going on there?
In Hong Kong or in China?
In China and even in Hong Kong. Like nowadays in Hong Kong, a lot of the things are actually owned by Chinese. By mainland China.
Yeah.
Say a lot of even the flats are bought by people from mainland, not by the locals. And even the stock market, a lot of them are bought by the mainland.
Right.
And a lot of the company are actually from mainland China.
Wow. Okay.
So and even recently they passed a regulation where they allowed a small amount of what is it? The one that control the company to be not the one that owned over 50% of the stock. You get what I mean?
No, wait, say it again.
So in the old days, you have to be the majority stakeholder in order to have the control of the company, right?
Right. What? They changed the rule?
Yes, they changed the rule because they can't do it in China, in America. What is it called? Alibaba?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alibaba wants to do it because they want to sell more stock to the public.
Yeah.
But then they still want to have the control of the company.
Yeah.
So now Hong Kong passed the law, not law, but a regulation on in the stock market. Yeah. I'm not expert, but the gist is like that. So you don't need to be the majority stockholder. Stockholder to have the control of the company, to have the say of the company.
Wow.
And that I think the world needs to be careful of.
Why?
Because the whole thing will be controlled by mainland, and that is when they want it to, when they want the price to go down, then it go down. When they want the price to go up, then go up. So it's not market regulated. So that's when you see all the figures, which means nothing to us. Which means nothing to us. To us, any figures that came out from the authority, we have to take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And we have to look into different indicators. Say, for example, China's GDP or growth. Then you look into the coal price, the usage of coal.
Yeah.
Because you need to use coal for electricity, and you need electricity to work in the factories.
Right.
And that's when you sort of like indirectly see what's going on, but never the sort of like the usual indicator that the world is using.
Okay, so what do you think would be like a good alternative to all of this? Like, I have one thing in my head, but I want to know what you think first.
Wait, what sort of alternative to what?
To all of this, all this market, stuff, and like, like I think, like, you just, and like more of an individual scale, okay? Like, I think, for example,
just look into what we're doing in Hong Kong, or at least what we sort of discovered ourselves over the past 6 months, and is when we buy stuff, we look into the tag.
Okay.
If it's made in somewhere else, then we buy it.
Okay.
Then we buy it.
Right.
And we were also trying to encourage local businesses more than international chains that is owned by a particular country. So we're doing our part as an individual, and we do believe that money speaks.
Right.
So a lot of us, or the locals, we have apps. We have a list showing which businesses actually are involved in the protests, or at least is not owned by a Chinese company.
Okay.
And we try to support those businesses.
Okay.
Yeah, so we already have that. We have apps, we have schemes, we have labels, we have things like that. Yeah, and they have like some of the more aggressive restaurants. They will have posters and stuff telling you that, hey, I'm on your side. So people will go there. So even now, especially now, in this difficult moment with the virus and all the stuff like that, those shops, we call them yellow shops, because yellow is the color of the whatever yellow revolution or whatever. Yeah. So we call it yellow shop. Yellow shop still doing pretty well because people keep going there.
Right.
But those that does not, or those supporting the other side, is going to suffer.
With the other side, which means China, right?
Yeah. Okay. Either they could be, it's probably not pro-China or pro-police.
Right.
Yeah, pro-police.
Right.
So if they support police brutality, then hey, take that.
Right.
People are not going there. People are not going to go there.
Right.
And I can actually see the effects of that. But then the government is trying to give them money to help them to run, using the reason of, hey, there is an outbreak, economy is going down, so we have put out a huge fund for businesses to apply, and we believe that a lot of the funds will go back to those businesses that support the government. Right. And that is something that we can't change.
All right. Well, thanks very much, man.
Cool.